Hey beautiful, welcome to the Rise and Thrive podcast, a podcast for young women who are figuring out their lives, healing, growing, building, and becoming their best selves one day at a time. Here we talk about real life, relationships, money, career, confidence, healing, and everything in between. If you are ready to stop surviving and start thriving, you are in the right place. If you're feeling lost, overwhelmed, pressured, or like everybody else has their life figured out except you are not alone. And if nobody told you today, you are allowed to grow at your own pace. Before we get into today's episode, I just want to thank you for pressing play, because choosing to grow is not easy. There are days where you want to give up, days where you compare yourself, days where you feel behind. And I created this podcast because I know exactly what that feels like. To be in a season of transition where you're not who you used to be, but you're not who you're supposed to be either. And that space, girl, that space can feel lonely. But it's also where transformation happens. So let me ask you something. Who are you becoming this year? Not who people expect you to be, not who you were in survival mode, not who you had to be to make other people comfortable, but you. Because a lot of us are living on autopilot. We wake up, we go to work, we reply to messages, we scroll, we sleep, we go to work. But then deep down, you know you want more peace, more confidence, more financial stability, and more alignment, even more purpose. This year has to be a year where you enter a new season. But entering a new season comes with things like outgrowing old friendships, old relationships, old habits, and old environments. So in today's segment, we are going to be doing something that is extra special. I am excited and I hope it really interests you, because today I am going to be answering random questions about outgrowing the things that you used to have. Basically, I'm focusing on relationships and friendships, period. So I have with me these papers, which are randomly selected questions, and I'm going to be picking them out randomly. I don't know what's on these papers, but hopefully it's not something too deep. I'll try to be as real and as honest as possible, because I do know that you want real answers, and I hope I can help somebody out there. So without further ado, let's get picking. So here's the first one. So the first question reads, how do you know the difference between a rough season in a relationship versus it ending permanently? Well, how do I know the difference between a rough season in a relationship versus it ending permanently? Well, that's something I've struggled with personally. I think the first thing that you should consider is the fact that when a relationship ends permanently, or you are usually the one working on it alone. So when you feel like you're the only one dragging the relationship, you're the only one carrying the relationship on your shoulders, it feels like this person is not with you and you are solving all the relationship problems all by yourself. Girl, just know that it's time to get out of that relationship. Because I feel like every relationship should be two-sided. So you shouldn't be in that relationship alone. So every time you start feeling like you are forcing things, girl, you are forcing things. And you better just stand up and leave. And I feel like I've had this experience over and over again, and I've had time be the teacher that I didn't want it to be, but still ended up being it. So every time you feel like it's just you're the one always sorting out the problems, you're the one always trying to plan the dates, you're the one always trying to carry, girl, just pack your bags and leave, because you are alone in that relationship. How do you know if you're going through a rough season? A rough season is basically maybe you had an argument and maybe this person asks you for space, and you just, you're having a rough patch, but you can tell that this person is still there and they're still trying to work out the problems with you. In that case, I feel like it's just a rough patch. Even just, when it feels like you're growing apart, but then this person will still show up, they'll still try to do stuff with you. Maybe they might not be the one planning the things, are necessarily not all alone in that relationship. In that case, you should know that that relationship is for keeps, and you should just always follow your intuition. Like, your intuition is always right, and God gave us, especially us as women, God gave us that intuition. Like, you always just know that you know that something is up. You know what I mean? And when it's up, girl, it's up. It's up. It's not your mind. You're not thinking it. You're not overthinking it. It's up. So quickly, let me move to the next one before time runs out. So the second question is it possible to love somebody and still choose distance from them? Not in my case. Not in my case. I don't think that I would do that, because I'm creamy. I want you to be in my pockets. Just be with me in my pockets. Well, is it possible to love someone and still want distance from them? Yes, it is possible. And I feel like that's one thing that I never told myself, especially in friendships. It's possible for you to want distance, and I feel like we never really realize how much space is important, even just for people to value you and realize that you were actually worth something in their lives. Love you from a distance is not something that people just came up with theoretically, but because it's something that people actually experienced and concluded that this is the best way. There are times where you might have a friend that is toxic, and they are always just talking you down. They are always just making you feel like every time you leave their space, you always just feel like you are not happy, you feel drained, you feel like, girl, I shouldn't have been here in the first place. Girl, that is your sign to love them from a distance, and it's not a problem for you to love them from a distance, because actually when you love them from a distance, you're doing yourself a favor. So if you continue to entertain toxic behavior, you're doing a disservice to yourself. So love you from a distance, yes, you should love people from a distance if they are disturbing your peace. Even family members sometimes can be toxic, but that doesn't mean you can't cut them off. So if they are disturbing your peace and your mind, love you from a distance. That's what you should do. Moving on to the next question. If you would go back, would you fix the relationship or still let it end? It depends. I feel like with different relationships, but if I had the choice to fix it in some of my friendships, I would go back and fix it. But one thing I've learned to do is just accept it what it is, If it was meant for us to fix our friendship, we probably wouldn't be in the space we are at right now. But then the fact that we are not fixing it right now should tell me something about where our friendship currently is. So if I would go back, will I fix it or will I let it be? I think I'll let it be. With my relationships, please, I would run away. I would just not even start talking to them in the first place. Like, just leave me with my peace. Because at the end of the day, I feel like with relationships, some of them I felt like were wasting my time, but then I picked up some things along the way, like how to be resilient, how to move on, how to realize when somebody is manipulating you, how to know when the relationship is over. That's how I know when the relationship is over. Because I've had experiences. So yeah, the experiences, they've had bad sides and good sides. Also the baggage that comes with them, the trauma. I think if I would go back, I would let it be. I wouldn't try to fix it. But then I think I would be okay with going through it again. Yeah, because now I'm a bigger girl as a result of it. But anyway, moving on from relationships to things like anxiety because of relationships ending. In today's hot takes, we are talking about your nervous system. And here is why your nervous system might be why you feel so stuck in anxiety. Let's talk about something that has changed how I view healing completely. Your anxiety is not just in your mind, it lives in your nervous system. And here is the truth that most people do not realize. You cannot think your way out of a dysregulated nervous system. You have to calm your body first. So let's get into the facts. Here are facts about anxiety that are backed by research. So the first one is that anxiety is one of the most common mental health disorders in the world. Globally, about 355 million people live with anxiety disorders, making it the most common mental health disorder. Only about 1 in 4 people with anxiety actually receive treatment. That's number 2. This means that millions of people are actually struggling without support tools to regulate their nervous system. The third one is that anxiety affects more women than men, especially young adult women. Research shows that women have significantly higher anxiety rates, and anxiety often peaks between ages 15 to 35, that is in the youth ages, which is exactly the age which many of us are trying to build our lives, which makes it completely difficult for us to actually build our lives. The fourth one is that anxiety is not just emotional, it's physical. So the symptoms include rapid heart rate, muscle tension, trouble sleeping, restlessness, digestive issues, and this happens because your nervous system is in survival mode. So your body literally thinks you're in danger even when you're safe. So what's actually happening in your nervous system? So your nervous system has got 2 main modes: fight or flight, which is the survival mode, or rest and restore, which is the healing mode. So when anxiety is chronic, your nervous system stays stuck in survival mode. This keeps your body in a constant stress state, releasing stress hormones like cortisol, increasing heart rate, and even making you feel on edge. But here's the powerful part. You can train your nervous system to be safe again, and science shows that there are exercises that help you feel safe again. So here are some exercises that will help you to feel safe again. When you start feeling anxious, you can't breathe, you're having a panic attack, maybe you're about to go give a speech and you just can't handle it. So here are some things that you can do to just help calm yourself. So the first one is slow breathing. So what this does is that it regulates your nervous system immediately. So just breathing like just calmly. So research shows that slow breathing can increase parasympathetic activity, the part of your nervous system that is responsible for calm and emotional regulation. So it lowers anxiety and stress levels significantly. So I want you to try this. So you breathe in for 4 seconds, you hold for 4 seconds, breathe out for 6 seconds, and then you do this for 2 minutes. So this helps. So you breathe in, so you repeat this over and over again. So remember, breathe in 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, breathe out for 4 seconds, and you repeat this for 2 minutes. So long exhales actually signal safety to your brain. That's why this works. The second thing are grounding exercises. So you have to bring your brain back to the present, because your brain doesn't realize that this is not reality. It's going through, like, it doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. So this exercise will help you bring your brain back to reality. So anxiety lives in the future. So grounding helps to bring you back to safety right now. So you have to try the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method. So you name 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing that you can feel inside your body. So this interrupts anxiety loops and signals safety to your nervous system. So you do that. So maybe let's say I can see a curtain, I can see a pillow, I can see, so all these things. So you do all these things. I feel like I've actually tried this one on my own. Like I actually do this quite frequently. Like when I'm panicking and everything just feels so surreal, I'll actually like count the 5 things that I can see, 4 things I can touch, 3 things I can hear, and do all of those things. And yeah, I can testify that it works. So the third thing is you regulate through stillness. So you do nothing for 2 to 5 minutes. So basically you just put away your phone, you put away everything, and then you just like calm down, like just still for 2 minutes. Yeah, so you do this. What your nervous system needs are moments where nothing is demanded of you. So you sit down, no phone, no stimulation, and you just breathe. So studies show that breathing and relaxation practices reduce anxiety and improve emotional control and brain regulation. So here is a big sister truth moment. You are not weak for feeling anxious. Your nervous system may have been in survival mode for years from stress, pressure, or heartbreak, from constantly needing to be strong. Healing is teaching your body that it is safe again, not forcing yourself, not chaining yourself, not calming yourself. I feel like I actually heard a podcast. I listened to this podcast, a healing podcast, and this woman was talking about how you need to be calm and soft with yourself. You need to be gentle with yourself. So you can't judge your nervous system for feeling anxiety, because this is how God has created it to be. So that anxiety is meant to be protecting you. So you can't judge your body for feeling what it is feeling. So be gentle with yourself, be calm with yourself. So your anxiety is not a personal failure, it's a nervous system response. And healing starts when you stop fighting yourself. So start regulating yourself, not fighting yourself. Yeah. Moving on to the next segment, it's important that you take care of yourself and your mental health, but it's important that you take care of your physical health as well. And physical health involves things like not being broke. Guys, I literally get sick when I'm broke. If there is one money habit that you should learn in today's Money Minute, is you need to pay yourself first. So even if it's small, consistency builds confidence. Listen, I know you want to put aside money, I know you want to save, I know you have your bills, but putting aside money to take care of yourself, guys, that's important. I feel like last year, that's one of the things that I neglected. Like, I actually made money, but I prioritized spending the money on my responsibilities or the things that I needed to get done, and this did not help me. I was actually depressed at the end of the day, and I felt like I was doing nothing, simply because I did not prioritize taking care of myself. So please put aside money to pay yourself first. You, your body, your health, your hair, your nails, your makeup, whatever you do to make yourself feel good and look good is important. In view of that, we are going to be playing a very fun game, which is about building wealth and basically growing your finances. So I am going to be giving you 4 separate scenarios. This game is called Main Character Wealth Bingo. Woo. So I'm going to read to you 5 things, and you are going to tell me what you think it is, and next week I'll be doing a review, and let's see if you have your figures right. So the first clue, so these are clues I'm giving you. So the first clue is that it owns something that grows in value. It owns something that grows in value. What is it? Who am I? Second thing is has passive income potential. So it owns something that grows in value. It has passive income potential. The third thing is it has something to pass to family. Something that grows in value, has passive income potential, and something to pass to family. The fourth one is it has financial backup security. Has financial backup security. So it owns something that grows in value, has passive income potential, has something to pass to family, and has financial backup security. The fifth thing is that it has multiple income streams. So it has multiple income streams. So it owns something that grows in value, has passive income potential, has something to pass to family, has financial backup security, and has multiple income streams. So those are the 5 clues that I've given you. What do you think this is? So I will be doing a review next week right here. Second game that I'll be doing, so I'm giving you 2 different scenarios, and I feel like this is something that I would like us to discuss further in our group chats on Facebook and on Instagram. If you're not in our group chats, you can join the group on Facebook. I'll leave a link down below, or you can like our page on Instagram, DM us Rise and Thrive this year, and I'll add you to the group and we can discuss further. So basically this game is called Lifestyle and Legacy. I'm going to give you two different scenarios and you're going to tell me what you think is better. So the first scenario is this. You are a young woman, you maybe have something that gives you very good income, so you decide that I'm not going to wait to actually enjoy this income, but I want to enjoy my income right now. So you get a luxury apartment, a nice house, you're traveling daily, you're going to these nice places, you're basically enjoying your life, right? But then the thing with this is that it's only short term, only for a short period of time. With time it goes away, disappears, poof. So option B is a small starter property. So you have small starter property, you buy a small house, you have income coming, obviously you can afford the basic things, but then you try not to pamper yourself too much. You listen down on the traveling. Maybe you only travel at the times you can afford it. You travel lightly, you do things you can afford, and yeah. But then the thing with this is, even though you have like a small house, maybe a small car that you can afford, this comes with like long-term wealth. So what would you go with? And I don't want you to think theoretically like what the right thing to do is. I want you to think in terms of you and what you want. What would you do? Would you go for the luxury lifestyle that's only temporary, or would you go for the other lifestyle but it builds long-term wealth? What would you do? So don't forget, we are dropping this discussion in the group, so you don't want to miss out. But anyway, unfortunately we have come to the end of this episode. Thank you for spending time with me today. If this episode spoke to you, please send it to a friend, a sister, or another woman who you think might actually need to hear this too, because we don't want to grow alone. And if no one reminded you today, you are allowed to grow, you are allowed to change, and you are allowed to want more for yourself. Keep showing up for yourself, even on the days that you feel small. You are here not just to survive life, you are here to rise and to thrive. I'll talk to you in the next episode. Bye.